These are my favorite kind of videos. I love to review new machines. That's what my channel is all about, body sculpting and body contouring, and how you can do that with different machines. This is an 8-in-1 I started my channel with back a few years ago, and this is the S-shape. This is my current favorite cavitation machine. So this review is on the 10-in-1 AriStorm. It just came on the market this year, 2023, and I just got it the other day. So I'm going to do an unboxing. I'm going to open it up, put it together, and I'm going to put it through some tests. I want to see how powerful this little machine is. I was very happy to see that it came with instructions. It came with an installation guide and it came with a user manual. I will have a link to the manual in the description box below. I had them email it to me just in case I didn't get one, because normally I don't get one. So it came with a little wrench and a little Allen wrench that the screws, it's got a little hex head so that the screws will fit into it. So the first step is going to be to mount the brackets. So these are the mounting brackets. I have 4 this size and I have 2 this size. So it doesn't say which is which, but I would assume that the longer ones go here and then the 4 shorter ones go on the side. So that's the way I'm going to do it. And it shows to use your wrench to tighten it up. But I'm just going to hand tighten it for right now in case I need to move it around. Looking at the machine, this would be the right and this would be the left. So now we're going to install the brackets to hold the handle holders. So this is for the right side handle holder, and this is going to hold the small handles and the medium handles. And this is the bracket for the left side, and it's going to hold the large handles. So this is the large handle holders, this is the medium size handle holder, and then this is the small handle holder. That's where the screw goes, right on the bottom. So the curved part of the handle holder goes up, and then these screws are misleading. These holes on the back are misleading. How this is shaped, it has this angle or this cutout here. This would be the top. And this is misleading because you're not going to use these 2 holes. You're going to use this hole. So this little nub right here will go into this little hole, and then the screw goes here. So again, I'm going to use my little Allen wrench. So that's what it's going to look like. This is what it looks like when all 4 of the small ones are attached. It has a little nub right there to go in that little hole to hold it in place, which I really like that. And I'll continue to use the smaller screw. What I really like about this is that because it's curved, the little nub goes here in this little hole, and then the screw goes here. So you don't have to guess which way the curve goes. You automatically know that it's going to go like that, and that this is the right side up on the handle holders because of the little knob. So this one's a little bit different, and these handle holders are a little bit different. So these are for the large handles, but it doesn't have a nub right here. It just has 2 holes for the screws, and then it has 2 holes for the screws. So that leads me to wonder which way that the handle holders go on. So I'm just going to take reference to the other one and do it the same direction. And I'm going to continue to use the small screws. So it's going to go on just like that. They make these parts so that they can be put on multiple machines. So that's why they have different holes. And it can be a little bit confusing because they really do fit different machines. I have 2 number 1s and 1 number 2. So I'm going to put the 1 on the end, the number 2 on the inside, and then the other 1 on the other side. It's going to look like this is the left side, which will go here, and this is the right side, which will go there. I'm going to use the longer screws and put my brackets in on top of these holders. So I didn't want to tighten it down too tight with the first screw because it has a space where you can move it if you need to adjust it so that the screw will actually go in. So now I know that I have them both in, I'm going to go ahead and tighten it down. Now this is the lipo pad brackets. Again, I'm going to be using the longer screws. And these are the lipo pad holders. So it has a slot here for these grooves. And then this goes here. So there's 6 of the large lipo pads and 2 of the small, and it shows that the smalls go on the ends, and then it's got a bigger notch here and then a smaller here so that it can go over that notch, those notches, and it sits just like that. So I do have some leftover screws. I'm just going to put those in my bag of parts. This is my bag of parts that they gave me. I have some fuses and some different size gaskets and some filters. I'm just going to put these screws in my bag of parts and save them. These filters will always come in handy when you're changing the filter on your vacuum handle. So never throw these away. You're always going to need these gaskets, the small black ones, the clear ones. You're always going to need these gaskets. So this is your filter. This is what's going to filter out anything that your vacuum picks up. So those bag of parts, these are the small filters, the small gaskets here, and the larger gaskets are here. So when you take this off, if you have to empty it, these are the larger gaskets. It has to fit airtight, otherwise the vacuum won't work. And then it just plugs in right here. And it shows in the manual your filter, your small gaskets, and where they go. And how it plugs into the back of the machine. This is the correct way, this is the incorrect way. So this is the correct way. It's plugged all the way in. Now it shows to connect the front probes, which are the larger handles. So that's what we'll do. So the first handle is going to be the scraper. It has 2 holes here and a notch. And then this has 2 holes here and a notch. So the notch is on the top. So you just plug it in and then turn the washer and turn it to tighten it. Just set it there. Then the next one looks like the cavitation, and this has 5 holes. So it has 5 holes and a notch. This has 5 holes and a notch. It's kind of interesting to me that the scraper that sits here would be in the front because the cords crisscross. So next is the radio frequency for 6 holes and a notch. So next is the cold hot hammer. You can see right here that it's labeled. So not only are all of the plugs different, but it tells you hot, cold, 6 polar RF, cavi, and scrubber. I kind of find it interesting that they cross over. So I would have thought in my mind that the right side would be on the back and the left side on the front, but these kind of crisscross. So I thought that was kind of interesting because that leads to tangled cords. So I'm already not liking that, but we'll see. I'm going to give this machine a chance, and so let's plug in the back. So just like the front, they're labeled. So it shows you what plugs in where. So here's the vacuum, the ultrasound, the bio, the RF for the face, the bio, the LED light, and then the laser lipo pads here. I'm going to start with the handles first and get those out of the way, and then I'll plug in the laser lipo pads. This is the LED light microcurrent, and it's just like the one on my 10in1, just like that. The face RF. Nice thing about it is there's only one place they can go because they're all different. The bio. So for me, it's easier to start at the top and work my way down because my fingers won't fit. If I would have started at the bottom and worked my way up, I couldn't get my fingers around the little washer that needs to go around to secure the handle plug in. So that's why I started at the top and worked my way down. This is the ultrasound, which is this one. So this is the vacuum. These little white filters here, these discs, are going to go behind this stopper. You can see in your vacuum, this is just a little tiny screwdriver. So you can just pop that little stopper out and see that there's a little white disc in there. You just make sure that after each use that you clean and make sure that your filter is clear. Otherwise, your vacuum can get clogged. Just gonna use that out of the way. And so these are labeled S1 for small, small 1, small 2, large 1 through 6. This is the small. And these have a protective coating on them. See that? You want to make sure that you always remove that film before you use it. I know a lot of people don't realize that these handles have a film on them, so make sure that you take that film off. I left the tie on it while I'm installing it because this is enough room, this is long enough to plug it in, and it's keeping up out of the way because I have enough cords going on here. And lastly, the power cord will go right there. Okay, I'm going to plug it in and let's play with it a little. So right off the bat, there's a lot going on with this machine. This has wires everywhere. So I would suggest that you get a nice little cart to set this on, because if you try and move it around, these cords are going to get tangled. And I have a really cute little cart over here that I'll show you at the end of the video that I'm going to house this on. So I was really happy to see that it came with an instruction guide on installation, and then now it has a user manual. So let's go through this and see what it looks like. So it has the cavitation, the vacuum, the body radio frequency, the face radio frequency, the biophoton, the cold hot hammer, the ultrasound, the scrubber, the photon and microcurrent, and then it has the laser lipo, which is here. I'm going to turn the lights back on, and I'm going to play with the settings. We're going to do the cavitation first. I already like this. It has the wave, and then it has the pulse. It has the energy and then the time. Super easy to read, super easy to be able to figure out. Goes all the way up to 10, and then start. So this cavitation does not have radio frequency combined, but the vacuum does. So this is cavitation, radio frequency, and then vacuum, radio frequency. I like that. I like it that the radio frequency is separate. And I really like, even though I love my S shape, I like that this has the probes, the prongs, instead of the flat RF. So you can see here, I already like this part of it. See how the RF is flat? And see how it has the prongs on the radio frequency, and see how this radio frequency is flat. I really like the probes on radio frequency. I'm so glad that they did that. I really wish my S shape had the probes on with the radio frequency. But with the S shape, everything is dual handle, where this one is not. The only dual handle is the vacuum. The cavitation is separate than the radio frequency. So I already like that. I already like that it's separate. So it's kind of loud. It's kind of making a hissing with the other. So I'm going to take this off so you can see it better. So then this is the body vacuum and radio frequency. So it's pretty much the same as the other machines. It has your time, it has your energy. It has the normal and the professional, and then it has the suction and the release. This is going to control the pressure for the vacuum. So because this is a dual handle, ooh, I can already feel the radio frequency. It's already getting hot. So let's turn the suction. I'm going to do it on minimum. So yeah, you can already feel the radio frequency heat on that. So let's put this machine to the test. I'm going to get my thermometer out, and I'm going to get my water out, and we're going to see how powerful this machine really is. So I have my water, and I have my ultrasound gel, and I have my little cups. So these are just small condiment cups that I'm going to test the cavitation, see how powerful it is. So it's just a small amount of water. And this is just distilled water that I got at the grocery store. Take the little plastic off. See how it has a little plastic on it? Make sure you take that off. So I'm just going to put some ultrasound gel right on the handle. And then I'm going to place my water right on top, so you can see that the ultrasound's on the bottom, ultrasound gel's on the bottom, my little cup's on the top. So that's definitely working. So we know that the cavitation is strong because it's moving the water. So you can see it on the handle itself. I can hear more of a buzz than a squeal. So that's because this is a 2.5 handle. So it's not so much a squeal as it's a buzz in my inner ear. It's kind of a loud buzz, but it's not a squeal. So that's good news. So let's see how the radio frequency heats up. This is just a radio frequency gel I'm going to use on my arm. And then I'm going to see if I can get it. It's going to be kind of tricky to be able to use it on my arm to do it at the same time, but I'm going to try and take the temperature at the same time right after one another. So here's the radio frequency conductive medium on my arm. I'm going to turn the energy all the way up. I'm going to put it on normal and then start. And then see if I can feel it. Yeah, I can already feel it heating up. So it's at a 107. RF is definitely getting hot. So that's a good sign. So let's try the face radio frequency. If I can get the heat to come up on that, since I already have the radio frequency conductive medium on my arm. Turn it all the way up. Normal. Start. It's definitely not as hot as the body, but it is getting warm. So I was able to get that at a 108. So yeah, it's definitely there. Let's see about the cold hot hammer. So there's the cold hammer. So this is, it's got a little sun for the heat and a little snowflake for the cold. Let's do the heat first and see if I can get it up to temperature. So with these handles, you can hear the fan on the inside. It's definitely getting warm. So if you were working on an area of your body and you wanted to create some heat, this would be a really good option to get your heat going. So that one's a 107. So I was able to get it up to a 107. And there again, because I'm setting it down and I'm picking this up, I'm losing a little bit of the heat. Again, this is an infrared thermometer. It's not meant for the body, only for devices. So 108 is the highest I could get it to. The manual says it'll go to 113, but I can only get it to go to 108. So let's do the cold. It's cooling off right away. So when using the cold or hot hammer, you can use products to infuse them into your skin. So if you have puffy eyes or you wanted to wear a sheet mask, this would be a really good option to do the cold side. If you wanted to infuse some hyaluronic acid or some other kind of product into your skin, then you can use the hot side. So that feels pretty cool. So it's down to a 91.4. So let's see if I can, and there again, because I had the radio frequency on it and the hot hammer, my skin is still kind of hot. I always like the cold side. It feels so good. So now it's not even registering. So it's below what my little temperature will read. So this is an infrared thermometer that's not for the body. The other one is for the body. So I want to see how cold this cold hammer actually is getting. 23. And you can see some of the ice crystals forming on the top. Oh, 20.7. And it states in the book that it goes to a 32, but I got mine down to a 20. So that's good. This is one of my favorite handles on my 8-in-1 right there. It's got the same thing, it's a little bit bigger. But when you learn to use the hot cold hammer on these machines, they quickly become one of your favorite handles. I want to see if I can do the water test on the ultrasound handle. So again, it's just a small amount of water. I'm going to do it on the constant, power all the way up to a 10. So this is the ultrasound small handle. So I want to see how the small ultrasound handle sounds. I don't hear any kind of squeal or anything in my inner ear, so that's... So the microcurrent LED photon mode, you can feel it. This is on mode. M1 is not as strong. M2 is a stronger current. You can definitely feel it. And you should use some kind of a conductive medium with your microcurrent, but I can just feel it on my hand, so that tells you how strong it is. So, and I have it on 10. So let's play with stop this. That controls the microcurrent side of it. This. So now let's do the LED portion of it. So it has off, auto, on mode, and wave. So when you turn it on, it automatically defaults to the green. And then if you touch the on mode again, you can scroll through the colors. But if you want it to stay on a certain color and you want it to blink, then you would do the wave. Okay. If you want it to scroll through all 7 of the colors, then you would go to auto. And it's going to scroll through all 7 of the colors. So this is just like the microcurrent and LED on my 8-in-1s. It's exactly the same. It seems to be exactly the same. Only it's easier to navigate because it has an M1 and an M2 mode. It's not A, B, C, or D. Biophoton has an M1 and an M2 as well. Let's turn the power up. Definitely can feel it. I don't have any conductive medium on. You would need a conductive medium, but you can see it already making my eye jump. Let's do mode 2. See? Yeah, see? So M1 is more of a constant, or M2 is a pulse. It kind of pulse, like 1, 2, and then a long, and then pulse, pulse, and then a long. So you can see that it's just a constant. So that's really cool for around the eyes. And I would think that it would work really well around the lips too. I have wrinkles on my lips from drinking out of a straw for so many years. I've never been a smoker, but because when I worked in the grocery industry, I drank out of a straw all the time, so I'm fighting these little wrinkles around my mouth. So I already like this mode. I like it that you can control each of the laser lipo pads independently or all at the same time. I really wish my dedicated lipo machine, my laser lipo machine, I was able to control the pads independently. I really like that about this. And then it has the separate, M1 is a constant, M2 is a light flash, and then M3 is a real quick flash. But I like that you can control all of the pads separately, or you can have them all at the same time. You control each pad. I like that a lot. I've never used a scraper before, so this is new to me. So I'm just going to play with it and see what it feels like. So I can hear a buzzing in my inner ear, and I can feel that it's kind of warm. So I can definitely feel the vibration, and I can hear the sound in my inner ear. But it's a buzz, it's not a squeal. So this has a lot of the same features that the Unisession has. It actually has more. It has the ultrasound for the face, it has the scraper, and then it has the biophoton for the eyes, around the eyes, in which I think you can use around the mouth as well. I really like that it has the separate cavitation and the separate radio frequency and the dual vacuum and radio frequency. I like that. I like the probes better than the flat radio frequency. That's just me personally. More comfortable for your hand, and I like that a lot. What I really didn't like about it is putting it together. The brackets were a little bit challenging. I was able to do it. I've done lots of these machines, so I was able to do it, but I thought it was a little bit challenging putting the brackets on the machine. They probably, to me, they should have done it for you. But I would definitely get some sort of a cart. This is actually from MyChway, and it houses it pretty well. The reason I say that is because there's so many cords on this machine that if they're not hanging down freely, when you go to pull a handle off the holder, it's going to get tangled. So you really want your cords to be able to hang down free so that you can use it without a hindrance. So my takeaway on this machine is that it is user-friendly. It has everything you need for your whole body. You can do your face, you can do your body. It has skin tightening, it has the cavitation. I love the cavitation is separate. I like it that it has the prongs on the radio frequency as opposed to the flat radio frequency. I like the prongs better. I like it that it has the separate face radio frequency, and I like the biophoton for around the eyes and the mouth and around the mouth. I've never used a scraper before, so I'm still on the fence with that. But everything was able to get to temperature except the cold hot hammer. I was able to get it down to temperature, but not up to 113 Fahrenheit. I was able to get it to 108. So maybe if I left it running for longer, I left it running for about 5 minutes, that should have taken it to temperature. But like I said, I got it to 108. Everything else passed my test. But overall, I think it's a pretty good machine. And like always, everything I use in my videos will have links in the description box below. If you enjoyed this video, please let me know. Like and subscribe and leave a comment down below.